hopefully we're filming. Hi guys, welcome to the second tutorial. I thought, well, when I bought this camera, it said that I could pause videos and then continue, and I can't figure out how to do that, so I'm going to just try to explain everything without having to go to the iron and to the sewing machine and all, and hopefully that works for you, and if it doesn't, that's what office hours are for. Okay, so next up we're on the section of the instructions, fourth paragraph down, where it says to fold yourself facings to the inside on the fold line and press, and then turn double facing to inside baste and press top stitch close to front edges, and again as marked. Okay, so where we're at right now, you guys should have both fronts attached. Your yoke should both be top stitched, and this is the basting here around the neckline and here on the yoke I was talking about. So now we're going to be making these facings or plackets where your buttons will be going on the front of your shirt. So right now it should look like this, and we're going to be folding this in twice to create your facing. So I would recommend folding from the inside and marking the inside of your garment so you don't have any marks on the outside. Let me just make sure the camera's getting what I want. Okay. So, basically you guys should have your paper patterns that have the lines where the facing go. I do not, but I know that the line lines up with this point here. The facing should be about 1.5 inches wide. You can measure your actual paper, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is. So what I went ahead and did, I didn't have chalk, so I just used a blue colored pencil. But I went ahead and made a line all the way down from the outer edge at 1.5 inches. That's my first folding line. And then from there I made a second line at 1.5 inches. That's where I want the fold to go to. And then so that we don't have any raw edges, I made a third folding line another 1.5 inches away. And that's where the facing will end and should be pinned to and sewn down at. So I have 3 lines going the entire length of the shirt right now. For me, that's the easiest way to do it. You guys might have a different method you prefer. And what I would do next is just go over to the iron, and I would want to fold on my first line, lining up my edge to the second line. If it's not perfect, that's okay. You're going to iron your first facing fold all the way down the length of the shirt. Press it so you have a nice clean edge. And then once that's ironed, you're going to want to iron it one more time, lining it up with that third line where you want the fold to be, or the edge to be. And you're going to want to pin that in place. So this is obviously not ironed. Yours should be nice and ironed, but you're just folding once, twice. I used those markings so that I could be as precise as possible. Another way you can make sure if you're correct is by the neckline creating a smooth curve here. I know a couple of you cut off this little triangle though, so don't worry about that if it's not totally smooth. But you should have the facing folded twice all the way down. The next instruction is to baste this down. What a lot of students' first instinct would be to just edge stitch this from the inside. The problem with that is then the stitching's kind of backwards. Instead of having the bin thread on the outside, you have the upper thread on the outside, and it just doesn't look as nice. So that's why we want to baste from the inside and then sew it from the outside, so we get a nice clean look. So you can see, unfortunately, before this pandemic even started, I had picked to work with a light colored thread for my shirt. Let me see if you can actually see this.